We're diving into a specific US quarter from 1995 that has not only stunned collectors, but sold for nearly $1 million. You heard that right. One of these quarters fetched $854,000 at auction. But why? Why this coin? What makes it so special? And more importantly, do you have one? Stay with me because this might be the most profitable 10 minutes of your entire year. Let's rewind the clock to 1995. Bill Clinton was president, the internet was barely a thing, and we were all jamming to TLC and Alanis Morissette. Meanwhile, at the Philadelphia Mint, something rare, something unintentional happened. A batch of George Washington silver quarters was struck with a rare die error, a minting mishap so subtle, it slipped past most collectors and even some experts. What followed was silence. These coins circulated like normal. They were used for parking meters, soda machines, maybe even tossed into tip jars at diners. Pause, but the truth was hiding in plain sight. These quarters weren't ordinary. They were financial time bombs waiting to explode. Imagine tipping your barber with a coin worth more than his barbershop. Yikes. So, what's the deal with this coin? Why did one sell for $854,000 at a private auction? Let's break it down. The 1995 P. George Washington quarter looks like any other, until you look closer. A doubling of the inscriptions, especially on the word Liberty and the date. Some of these coins were accidentally struck on a silver planchet instead of the typical copper-nickel. Mint state condition, especially MS67 and above, sends the value soaring. Only a handful are known to exist, making them ultra-rare. Well, shoot. I've got a whole drawer of 1,995 quarters, which might mean you're sitting on a fortune or just a few bucks in laundry change. Only certified appraisers and reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm whether you've got the real deal. So what happens when you do? Well, let me introduce you to a man named Robert. He found one, and within 60 days his life flipped upside down. Robert was 54. A truck driver from Ohio. He'd been collecting coins casually since he was a teenager. One day, while cleaning out his late father's belongings, he stumbled across an old folder labeled, "Keep these valuable." Inside, a shiny 1995 P quarter. It didn't look special until he noticed the doubling on "In God We Trust." He sent it to PCGS just to be sure. 2 weeks later, he received the call. Appraised at over $850,000. Fast forward 3 months. Robert had sold the coin at private auction, paid off his house, funded his grandkids' education, and now he's planning a cruise around the world. You might not cruise around the world, but hey, wouldn't wiping out your credit card debt in one shot feel just as good? Could you be sitting on the next $854,000 coin? Have you checked your 1995 quarters recently? Do you even know what to look for? Because coins like this don't just represent money, they represent freedom, security, and a life on your own terms. If you've got a 1995 P quarter, especially one in pristine condition, get it appraised now. Not tomorrow. Now. And hey, if you want more videos like this that help you unlock the hidden wealth in your coin collection, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We're diving deep into why this particular 1986 quarter is so rare, what makes it worth over $750,000, and how you can identify if you have one of these life-changing coins. Because let's face it, you're not just watching this video to learn about coins. You're here because you're ready for more freedom, more opportunity, and a lifestyle that rewards what you already owe. So stay with me. What you're about to discover could completely transform your financial future. And no, this isn't like that email from the Nigerian prince. This one's real, verified, and very American. United States. Let's rewind to 1986. Ronald Reagan was president. The Cold War was still alive, and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, marked with a P, was quietly striking millions of quarters. But among those, a rare anomaly slipped through. A coin struck in pure silver, not the usual copper-nickel. This wasn't supposed to happen. The 1986 P silver quarter is a minting mistake. An accidental treasure, the result of a silver planchet being fed into the wrong press. How does a coin like this even get out of the mint without being caught? We'll get to that. But first, let's talk about value. In early 2025, one of these quarters fetched $835,000 at auction. Why? Because of 3 critical factors. Rarity, only a handful are known to exist. Condition, the coin must be in uncirculated or mint state. Authentication, certified by top graders like PCGS or NGC. Now here's where it gets exciting. The average person wouldn't spot this coin in a pile that it looks ordinary. But the silver gives it a slightly different luster, a shine that almost whispers its value. So the next time your spouse says, "Clean out that junk drawer," you might say, "Sure, I'll go look for $800,000 real quick." Could you be holding one of these coins right now? Look for the 1986 date, check for the P mint mark just above the R in quarter. Inspect the edge. If it's pure silver, the edge will not show copper. Test its weight. A silver quarter is slightly heavier at 6.25 grams. If it meets these criteria, don't clean it and don't spend it. Before you sell it, do you know how to get the highest value and avoid being ripped off by amateur dealers? We'll cover that in our next video. So hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because these coins are disappearing fast. Collectors, auction houses, and private investors are snapping them up. And once they're gone for good. You might only get one shot at this. Let me leave you with this: you don't have to dig for gold. You just have to open that old coffee can in your kitchen drawer. One single quarter could unlock the lifestyle you've been dreaming of. A lake house, early retirement, or finally starting that business you've put off for years. Your future may not be in the lottery, the stock market, or another get-rich-quick scheme. It might just be in your pocket change. So check your coins, share this video, and stay tuned, because your hidden wealth is closer than you think. What if I told you there could be a small, dusty coin sitting in your drawer that's worth more than a luxury car, even more than your entire retirement savings? Pause for effect. A single 1995 D-Mint George Washington silver quarter recently hit a market value of $754,000. And that's not a typo. Beat. And here's the kicker. Most people walk past it every single day without knowing the fortune they're holding. Now, before you run to your coin jar like a caffeinated squirrel, hold on. This story gets even better. Let's rewind the clock to 1995, a year of denim jackets, dial-up internet, and dollars that still had real value. Among the billions of coins minted that year, a small number of Washington quarters were struck at the Denver Mint with a unique combination of errors, anomalies, and precious silver content. These were not your average pocket change. Some were experimental, some were misprints, and some were, dare I say, accidentally minted treasures. Zoom into the coin's features visually. The D mint mark, possible double die, sharp strike, and silver luster. Most of the quarters minted that year were clad ordinary, but a rare few were made with 90% silver, possibly by mistake or in limited test batches. And here's where it gets juicy. One such quarter, verified by collectors and auction houses, sold for a mind-blowing $754,000. Imagine that 25 cents turned into $750,000. What could you do with that kind of money? Clear your debts? Travel the world? Buy freedom? You may be asking, but why is it worth that much? Great question. It all comes down to a perfect storm. Rarity, condition, provenance, and timing. The 1995 D-Mint silver quarter is not just rare. It's almost mythic. Only a handful have been authenticated in MS 67+ grade with full details and luster. Auction houses have quietly been competing over these specimens. One collector claimed, "This coin is the holy grail of modern quarters." And yet, every year that passes, more of these coins are lost, damaged, melted, forgotten in estate sales. Every day you wait, their value rises, and your chances shrink. But here's the million-dollar question. Do you have one? Before you try to bribe your grandma for her coin jar, let's talk about how to know if you're holding the jackpot. D mint mark, look just below the wreath on the obverse. Silver luster, genuine 90% silver coins will have a brighter, non-copper edge. Error signs, look for double die obverse, especially around Liberty or In God We Trust. Condition coins graded MS 65 or higher are exponentially more valuable. Professional verification. Always authenticate with NGC or PCGS before selling. Don't just rely on YouTube videos or online images. Get a real appraisal. Because if you've got the right coin, your life could change fast. We are currently in a collector boom. Coins are fetching record prices at auction. But like any market, timing is everything. Coming up in the next video, we'll reveal the 5 most valuable error coins you could have without knowing it. Some worth over $1 million, and one that may be hiding in your wallet right now. If this video sparked a thought, a possibility, or even a sense of urgency, then it's time to act. Check your drawers, your jars, your inherited collections. Take your coins seriously. And if you're ready to discover the true value of what you own, subscribe, hit the bell, and drop a comment below with the coins you found. We might feature your coin in our next video. Sometimes, life's greatest fortunes come in the smallest packages. Don't let yours slip away unnoticed. I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and how some lucky Americans are flipping forgotten change into fortune. But stick around till the end, because I'll also reveal a dangerous mistake that could cost you everything, even if you already have this rare coin. Old US Mint footage rolls. A narrator-style voice begins. To understand this coin's true value, we need to go back to 1994. The Denver Mint was in full production mode. Billions of coins were struck. But in the chaos, a few quarters, just a handful, were struck using 90% silver planchets instead of standard copper-nickel ones. That tiny error? It turned ordinary change into a 6-figure treasure. Now, don't confuse this with the regular 1994 D quarter that you find in parking meters. Those are worthless for collectors. Side-by-side comparison, normal versus silver error coin. The silver version has a distinct sound, lighter weight, and no orange ring on the edge. And that subtle detail is what dealers are paying hundreds of thousands for today. One recently auctioned for $655,000. Why? Because it was in near-perfect condition, authenticated, and confirmed to be one of the only known silver planchet errors of that year and mint. Kind of makes you want to dump out your entire coin jar right now, doesn't it? Mansions, Lamborghinis, tropical getaways. That's what some lucky collectors have done. One man in Ohio found one in a coin collection left by his grandfather. Another woman nearly spent hers at a laundromat until she felt how heavy it was. Now, here's the kicker. Finger holding a quarter over a coin scale. Most people who find this coin accidentally ruin it before ever selling it. We'll talk about that disaster and how to avoid it in just a moment. Let's talk money. Real, tangible money. Because if you find this coin, you're not just lucky. You're in the top 0.0000001%. Look for 1994 D on the obverse check for solid silver edge, no copper ring. Weigh it. Silver quarters weigh around 6.25 grams. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Avoid eBay until it's certified. Don't just run to your nearest pawn shop. That's like selling a Picasso at a garage sale. Use certified coin dealers or auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, where collectors compete to throw money at coins like this. Cut to a shot of a guy trying to weigh coins on a kitchen scale used for bananas. Don't use your fruit scale. You'll just think every quarter is worth $600,000. But remember the danger I mentioned earlier? Never clean a coin. Even wiping it with a cloth can destroy microscopic details that make it valuable. One man lost out on over $300,000 just because he polished his coin. That's not cleaning, it's financial exfoliation. You don't need to be a millionaire to become one. You just need awareness, curiosity, and maybe a little luck. If you've inherited coins, if you've got a drawer full of change, or if you're just looking for a way to change your life without changing your job, the 1994 D silver quarter might be your moment. So check your coins, weigh them, get them graded, and never assume anything is just pocket change. Subscribe for weekly coin finds that could change your life. Download our free coin value checklist, link in description. Next week, I'll reveal another US coin that's worth even more, but only if you spot the tiny error hidden in plain sight. What if I told you that a single coin you've forgotten about could be your ticket to financial freedom? One coin, one quarter, from 1993. With a small D mint mark. Worth up to $835,000 and still climbing. Yes, you heard that right. Dio, you have it sitting in a jar, drawer, or old coffee can right now. Stay with me because in the next few minutes, I'll take you on a journey that might just change your life and your bank account forever. The year was 1993. Bill Clinton was president. Jurassic Park ruled the box office. And the U.S. Mint released what was meant to be just another Washington quarter. But deep within that year's production at the Denver Mint, something unusual happened. A small batch of silver planchets, metal blanks typically used for commemorative coins, were accidentally struck with the standard quarter design. That mistake has now become a collector's gold mine. These are not ordinary quarters. They look the same to the naked eye, but under expert scrutiny, they reveal silver content, unique die, varieties, and often incredible striking errors. So, why haven't you heard about this before? Most people throw away the very fortune they're looking for because they don't know what they're holding. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you checked the year on your laundry quarters? Yeah, that's what I thought. Over the past decade, the coin collecting market has exploded, and rare errors like the 1993 silver quarter. They've become the holy grail for collectors. One verified specimen recently sold for $835,000 in a private auction. Others are fetching six figures depending on their condition and strike quality. But here's the thing. There could be hundreds more out there. Untouched, unnoticed, sitting in old jars. Possibly in your home right now. At this point, you're probably thinking, wait, you mean I've been feeding my $1 million quarter to a vending machine for Funyuns? Don't worry, you're not alone. But this isn't just about missing out. It's about the opportunity to transform your financial future without doing anything more than taking a closer look at what you already have. Now is the time. There's a quiet frenzy happening in the numismatic world. Collectors, dealers, and investors are snapping up rare quarters faster than ever. And as more are discovered, the value of your hidden treasure may go even higher, or it might crash when the market corrects. That's the game. And you're holding the wild card. This isn't just about money, it's about freedom. The kind of freedom that pays off debt, takes that dream vacation, or funds the retirement you deserve. But you've got to act now. Grab a flashlight, a magnifying glass, and your old coin stash. Look for the 1993 quarter with a small D on the right side of Washington's ponytail. Check for a silver tone, sharp details, and a distinctive sound when dropped. If you think you've got something, do not clean it. That can ruin its value. Contact a certified coin appraiser or numismatic expert. Or get it graded through a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Coming up in the next video, I'll show you how to spot fake silver quarters that can trick even seasoned collectors, and why one tiny flaw in your coin could add another $100,000 to its value. So hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications, because your next video might just reveal the missing piece to your millionaire puzzle. You've worked hard your whole life. Isn't it time something finally paid you back? Sometimes, the universe hides fortune in plain sight, and sometimes, it's right there in the palm of your hand. Look again, because that humble quarter from 1993 might just be the beginning of your wealthy lifestyle. What if I told you that tucked away in your junk drawer, that little jar of old change gathering dust on your dresser, might be hiding a coin worth over $735,000? Sounds unbelievable? That's exactly what one collector thought, until he sold his 1990 P. George Washington quarter for enough money to retire early, and then some. And no, it wasn't dipped in gold, it just had one very rare trait most people never notice. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to tell. If you're holding one of the rarest modern quarters ever minted in the US, every now and then, history leaves behind breadcrumbs of fortune, and the 1990 P. Mint George Washington silver quarter is one of them. This coin was never meant to be special. Just another piece of currency, punched out at the Philadelphia Mint, until something went terribly right. While millions were produced, only a handful were struck using a 90% silver planchet, a composition not used for regular quarters in 1990. Most quarters were clad in copper nickel, but this rogue batch, silver. A minting mishap, an error, a fluke, or maybe a stroke of luck meant just for you. So yeah, you might want to double-check that coin you gave your kid for the tooth fairy last year. Oops. Now here's the kicker. Identifying one of these silver imposters isn't rocket science. It just takes a keen eye, the right tools, and A little guidance. A man in Texas walks into a coin shop with an old jar of quarters from his late father. Nothing special, right? Until one coin, a 1990p Washington quarter, feels a little different. He weighs it comes in at 6.25 grams instead of the typical 5.67. That's a dead giveaway. Silver content. Further tests confirm the composition. The luster. The lack of copper edge. It's authentic. And when it hits the auction block, it doesn't just make noise, it explodes. Final bid. $735,000. That single coin was worth more than most people's mortgages. Think about that. Something he nearly spent at a gas station paid off his debt, bought him a home, and funded his dream of opening a barbecue business. Now that's what I call grilling your way to financial freedom. But here's the truth. These coins are disappearing fast. Collectors are snatching them up. Resellers are flipping them for six figures. And people like you, folks who grew up with pocket change and piggy banks, are sitting on potential gold mines without even knowing it. So how do you check if your 1990 quarter is one of these ultra-rare silver strikes? Check the edge. If there's no copper stripe, that's a good sign. Weigh it. Silver quarters come in around 6.25 grams. Magnet test. Silver isn't magnetic. If you're still unsure, get it appraised by a reputable numismatist. And in just a moment, I'll reveal where you can sell your coin for top dollar without getting ripped off if you're serious about changing your life and possibly uncovering a six-figure fortune from your old coin collection. Don't wait. Click the link in the description for a free guide on how to appraise and sell rare coins, including verified dealers, auction houses, and the exact traits to look for. Because the next coin you pull out of your drawer could be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your retirement. Imagine this. You walk into your kitchen, reach into that old coin jar, and pull out a regular-looking quarter. Nothing special, until you realize it's worth over $935,000. Yes, you heard that right. That same quarter, the 1987 George Washington quarter, could be the key to a wealthy, worry-free life. But here's the twist. Most people throw it away without even knowing what they had. Stick with me for the next 10 minutes. I'll show you why this ordinary coin is anything but, and how to tell if you're sitting on one that could make you a millionaire. Let's go back to 1987. Ronald Reagan was president. The stock market was booming, and at the Philadelphia Mint, something unusual happened. A small number of Washington quarter dollars were minted with an error, a rare silver composition, instead of the usual copper-nickel clad. Wait, a silver coin in 1987? That's not supposed to happen. Silver quarters stopped production in 1964, right? That's exactly why this is a collector's gold mine. These rare 1987 Mint mark quarters were never meant for circulation, but a handful made it out. Today, one in pristine condition recently fetched $935,000 in a private collector's auction. Let's dive into the 4 things that make this quarter so valuable, and how you can spot one today. First, flip the coin and look for the P mint mark, located just beside Washington's ponytail. Only quarters minted in Philadelphia have this telltale sign. Next, the weight. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. But these silver errors weigh 6.25 grams. That's your first clue. Tap it gently on a hard surface. A silver quarter produces a high-pitched, bell-like ring. Copper-nickel ones? A dull clunk. Finally, inspect the coin's edge. Most quarters show a brownish strip. That's the copper core. If your coin has a solid silver edge, you may just have struck it rich. Now imagine you've got a match. What now? You do not want to sell it to just anyone. Pawn shops will lowball you.
Online forum?
Full of scams. Instead, you need to work with a certified numismatic expert and send it for professional grading. Once verified, the sky's the limit. Collectors, investors, museums, all lining up with their checkbooks. There are less than 50 known 1987 silver quarters in circulation. Most are still out there, in old drawers, jars, or forgotten boxes. Every day, someone unknowingly tosses one, losing a chance to change their life forever. So here's what I want you to do next. Tonight, check every quarter you own. Seriously, pull out the old boxes. Call your parents. Dig through that coffee can. And if you find that 1987 P silver quarter, your life could change overnight. Subscribe now, because in our next video, we're revealing 5 more quarters worth over $1 million that could be sitting in your house right now. Your future might just be 25 cents away. Are you ready to claim it? We're uncovering the story of the 1966 no-mint mark George Washington silver quarter dollar, and why it has collectors literally bidding fortunes to get their hands on one. Wait, 1966? No-mint mark? Didn't they stop using silver before that year? We'll get to that. But here's the catch. Most people throw this coin away without realizing what they've just lost. Why this quarter is so rare, what makes it different from millions of others, how to identify the jackpot version, and how one was recently valued at $745,000 inch. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal the number 1 place to sell yours for the highest possible price and avoid getting ripped off. To understand why this coin is exploding in value, we have to go back to 1965. The US Mint was in crisis. The price of silver had skyrocketed, and people were hoarding coins left and right. The Mint had no choice. They stopped producing quarters with silver by the end of 1964. So how in the world does a 1966 quarter made of silver exist? Well, it wasn't supposed to. Most 1966 quarters are made of copper and nickel, and contain no mint mark. But a tiny handful were accidentally struck using leftover silver planchets from 1964. Think of it like finding a brand new Tesla with a carburetor under the hood. It's not supposed to happen, but when it does, collectors go nuts. In fact, one recently graded MS67 Plus was appraised at $745,000. That's $250,000 plus a few Ferraris. But here's the kicker. Most people have no idea how to spot one. And many of these rare coins end up in parking meters or vending machines. So how do you know if your 1966 quarter is the one worth nearly $750,000? No mint mark under In God We Trust weighs 6.25 grams, not 5.67 grams like standard clad, high luster, stronger strike than usual, passes the ring test. Silver sounds different than clad, graded by PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher. Don't bite it like pirates do with gold. You'll just end up needing a dentist. And they don't pay in coins. Inspiring background music rises. Every great treasure story begins with a moment of curiosity. And if you've watched this far, maybe this is yours. Imagine the moment you hear back from an appraiser, and they tell you the quarter in your junk drawer is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Urgency. But here's the truth: time is working against you. These coins are aging, and many are being damaged or discarded forever. Collectors are paying more than ever right now, but that window is closing. Direct CTA, so don't wait. Check your coins today. Look for the 1966 no mint mark quarter. Weigh it, examine it, and if it looks promising, get it appraised professionally before you sell. And never accept pawn shop prices. You could be losing hundreds of thousands by walking into the wrong place. What if I told you that a single quarter, yes, a 25-cent coin, could be the key to turning your junk drawer into a 6-figure fortune? One rare coin, minted in 1997, bearing the iconic face of George Washington, just sold for a staggering $945,000, and it wasn't gold or ancient. It was a regular quarter hiding in plain sight. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're diving into the secrets of the 1997 P-Mint George Washington silver quarter, and why yours might be worth millions. This isn't just a coin story. This is your opportunity to change your life, and it all starts in your pocket change. Picture this: you're cleaning out an old drawer. Amongst loose batteries, paper clips, and dusty receipts, you find a handful of coins. One of them catches your eye. It looks ordinary. But this isn't just any coin. It's a 1997 George Washington quarter, with a P mint mark just under the phrase, "In God We Trust." You think, 25 cents. But what if I told you that little coin could buy you a brand new Tesla, pay off your mortgage, or fund your dream retirement to a beach in Florida? Because just recently, A rare version of this exact coin sold for $945,000. Nearly $1 million. At auction. The secret? It wasn't just any 1997 quarter. It had a few hidden features that made it ultra-rare and ultra-valuable. But before we get to what makes this coin so special, here's why this matters to you. Across the United States, millions of coins are tossed aside every day. But only a few hold secrets that collectors will pay a fortune for. So what exactly makes this 1997 P-Mint George Washington quarter worth nearly $1 million? Some quarters from 1997 were mistakenly struck on silver planchets meant for earlier coins. These are extremely rare. Though struck in Philadelphia, a few of these coins have deep cameo finishes. Normally seen only in proof sets, a rare error that causes a doubling effect on Liberty or In God We Trust. Mint state coins with MS67 or higher are worth a fortune. Full strike detail. Look at Washington's hair, the eagle's wings. The sharper the detail, the higher the value. Only a few dozen of these ultra-rare 1997 quarters are believed to still exist. One may be hiding in your home. Right now, when's the last time you actually looked at your spare change? Be honest. If it's been a while, that's exactly why this moment could change your life. Coin collectors, dealers, and auction houses are actively scanning for sellers. The market is booming and demand is skyrocketing. And unlike the stock market, you don't need a degree to profit. You just need the right coin and the right knowledge. So what should you do right now? Check your coins. Grab your coin jar, old piggy banks, or that kitchen junk drawer. Look specifically for the 1997 George Washington quarter with a P-Mint mark. Examine carefully. Look for the signs. Silver shine, proof like mirror finish, double dies, or unusually sharp details. Get it appraised. Do not sell to a pawn shop or local buyer who doesn't understand coin grading. Use certified numismatic experts or reputable auction houses. Because here's the harsh truth. Every day, people are unknowingly trading away coins like these for pocket change. Don't be one of them. This isn't just about a coin. It's about taking control of your financial destiny. About reclaiming forgotten value that's been sitting in your home for years. About using knowledge, not luck, to build the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, the people who found their $1 million coin weren't lucky. They were informed. And now, so are you. If you found this video valuable, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who could be sitting on a fortune without knowing it. And if you think you have a rare coin, drop a comment or check the pinned link to learn how to get it appraised for free.